Look, folks, relationships are like anything else, they change over time. What worked in the honeymoon phase might not cut it 5, 10, 20 years down the line. That's life, things evolve. But sometimes, those changes mean you and your partner are growing apart instead of together. Is something not working in your relationship anymore? Are you feeling disconnected, unhappy, or just plain stuck? In this video, we're going to dive deep into 5 important signs that you might be outgrowing your relationship. We'll be talking about everything from a decline in happiness and communication breakdowns to feeling lost as an individual and dreading the future. Remember, recognizing the problem is the first step to fixing it. So let's get real, get honest, and figure out what's going on. Remember back when you first met your partner? The excitement, the butterflies, the pure joy of just being around each other? Those early days were filled with laughter, endless conversations, and a sense of wonder. Everything felt new and exhilarating. Now take a good hard look at your relationship today. Are you still feeling that spark, that deep sense of happiness? Or has it been replaced by something else? Maybe a sense of routine, or even worse, a feeling of disconnection. It's important to recognize these changes. Listen, it's normal for the initial honeymoon phase to fade, but if you find yourself constantly unhappy, unfulfilled, or just plain bored in your relationship, that's a big red flag. It's a sign that something deeper might be going on. You might notice that you're not looking forward to spending time with your partner anymore. Those date nights you used to cherish, they might feel more like an obligation now. And here's the thing about unhappiness, it breeds comparison. You start looking at other couples, seeing their seemingly perfect lives on social media, and wondering, what happened to us? Or worse, you start romanticizing your past relationships, remembering only the good times and forgetting the bad. But let me tell you something. Comparing your relationship to others or to a romanticized past is a recipe for disaster. It takes your focus away from what's actually going on in your relationship and keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity. So if your happiness levels have taken a nosedive, don't ignore it. It's time to get real about what's really going on. Have an open and honest conversation with your partner. Address the issues head on rather than letting them fester. Seek professional help if needed. Sometimes an outside perspective can offer valuable insights and solutions. Remember, every relationship goes through ups and downs. The key is to navigate through them together with mutual respect and understanding. So if your happiness levels have taken a nosedive, don't ignore it. It's time to get real about what's really going on. It's time to get real about what's really going on. Take action now and work towards rekindling that spark. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. It's the bridge that connects two hearts and minds, allowing them to share their deepest thoughts, feelings, and dreams. It's how you connect, resolve conflicts, and build a strong, lasting bond. Without it, misunderstandings and resentments can fester, creating a chasm between you and your partner. But when that communication starts to break down, it's like a slow poison seeping into your relationship. It can erode trust, intimacy, and the very foundation of your connection. Think about it. Are you able to talk to your partner about the important things anymore? Or do you find yourself avoiding certain topics, fearing they might lead to an argument? Or do you find yourself constantly butting heads, having the same arguments over and over again? It's exhausting and can make you feel like you're stuck in a never-ending loop of conflict. Do you feel heard, understood, and respected in your conversations? Feeling validated and acknowledged is crucial for a healthy relationship. Or are you met with defensiveness, criticism, or worse, silence? These reactions can shut down any chance of a meaningful dialogue. Here's a telltale sign of a communication breakdown. Small disagreements escalate into major blowouts. It's a clear indication that there's more going on beneath the surface. You know what I'm talking about? Those seemingly insignificant arguments about who forgot to take out the trash or who's picking up the dry cleaning suddenly morph into relationship-ending screaming matches. It's not about the chores. It's about something deeper. And you know why that happens? Because those little things aren't really about the trash or the dry cleaning. They're about a deeper, underlying resentment that's been festering beneath the surface, unspoken and unaddressed. These unresolved issues can create a ticking time bomb in your relationship. Remember, communication is a two-way street. It's not just about expressing your own thoughts and feelings. It's about truly listening to and understanding your partner's perspective. Empathy and active listening can transform your interactions. It's not just about getting your point across, it's about truly listening to and understanding your partner's perspective. When both partners feel heard and understood, it strengthens the bond between them. So, if you're finding it impossible to have a productive conversation, if you're stuck in a cycle of negativity and blame, it's time to face the music. Your communication has hit a serious roadblock. But remember, recognizing the problem is the first step towards finding a solution. Chapter 3. Lost in the relationship. Reclaiming your individuality. Now, when you enter a relationship, it's natural for your lives to intertwine. You start sharing your time, your space, and even your dreams. You share experiences, you make decisions together, you become a we. This unity can be beautiful and fulfilling. But here's the catch: we should never completely overshadow me. Your sense of self is just as important. In other words, maintaining your individuality within a relationship is crucial. It's the foundation of a healthy partnership. Think about it. What were you passionate about before you met your partner? What dreams did you have for yourself? What hobbies did you enjoy? Did you love playing the guitar, painting, or perhaps riding your bike through the park? What friends did you spend time with? Remember those coffee dates and laughter-filled evenings? Have those things fallen by the wayside? Have you let go of the activities and people that once brought you joy? Look, I'm not saying you can't enjoy shared interests with your partner. In fact, shared interests can strengthen your bond. But if you find yourself constantly sacrificing your own needs, desires, and passions to please your partner, you're headed down a dangerous path. It's a slippery slope. Here's the thing: losing yourself in a relationship can be subtle. It often happens gradually, almost imperceptibly. It might start with skipping your weekly pottery class because your partner wants to try that new Thai restaurant. A small compromise, you think. Then it's declining an invitation to hang out with friends because you don't want to leave your partner's side. You tell yourself it's just this once. Before you know it, you're living in the shadow of your partner, your own identity fading into the background. Your individuality becomes a distant memory. And that, my friend, is a recipe for resentment, frustration, and ultimately, the death of the relationship. It's a path to unhappiness for both of you. So ask yourself, have you become a pale imitation of your former self? Have you lost the spark that made you unique? If the answer is yes, it's time to reclaim your individuality, rediscover your passions, reconnect with your friends, and remember who you are. Chapter 4. Future Fears. Can you picture a life together? One of the most exciting things about a new relationship is imagining all the possibilities the future holds. You daydream about vacations, milestones, maybe even growing old together. But what happens when that future starts to feel more like a burden than a blessing? If you're constantly anxious about the future of your relationship, if you can't picture a life together 5-10 years down the line, that's a major red flag. Maybe you're unsure about your compatibility in the long run. Perhaps you have different goals, values, or visions for the future, or maybe, just maybe, the thought of breaking up has crossed your mind more than once. Now, I'm not saying that every relationship where doubts creep in is doomed, but if you're constantly battling feelings of uncertainty, if the thought of a future with your partner fills you with dread instead of excitement, it's time to take a step back and figure out why. Ignoring these feelings won't make them go away. In fact, they'll likely fester and grow, leading to even bigger problems down the line. So be honest with yourself. What's driving these anxieties? Are they rooted in legitimate concerns about the relationship, or are they a reflection of your own fears and insecurities? Chapter 5. The distance between us. Physical and emotional drifting. Physical and emotional intimacy are the cornerstones of a romantic relationship. They're what separate a romantic partnership from a platonic friendship. But what happens when that intimacy starts to fade? Remember how you used to crave your partner's touch? How even a simple hug could make your day? Now, think about how you feel today. Has your physical attraction dwindled? Do you find yourself pulling away when your partner tries to get close? Look, physical intimacy isn't just about sex. It's about those small gestures of affection, holding hands, cuddling on the couch, a spontaneous kiss, hello. When those things start to disappear, it can be a sign that something's amiss. And it's not just about physical distance. Emotional distance can be even more damaging. Do you find yourself hesitant to share your thoughts and feelings with your partner? Do you feel like they wouldn't understand, or worse, that they don't care? When you start to emotionally withdraw from your partner, you're essentially building walls around your heart. creating a barrier that can be incredibly difficult to break down. So, if you're noticing a growing distance between you and your partner, both physically and emotionally, don't ignore it. It's time to address the elephant in the room. Outro: facing the hard truths. Is it time to move on? We've covered a lot of ground today, folks. We've talked about the importance of happiness, communication, individuality, and intimacy in a relationship. And we've explored 5 major signs that you might be outgrowing your partner. Now, I know this isn't easy to hear. Facing the possibility that your relationship might be ending is never comfortable. But burying your head in the sand and ignoring these signs won't make them go away. In fact, it'll only prolong the pain and make the inevitable that much harder. So, here's the bottom line. If you're experiencing any of the signs we've discussed today, it's time to get real with yourself and your partner. Have an honest conversation about what's not working, what needs to change, and whether or not you're both willing to put in the work to salvage the relationship. And remember, sometimes the bravest and most loving thing you can do for yourself and your partner is to walk away.